The Acropolis, a mighty hilltop wonder over 2,000 years old.
The sheer scale of these temples is almost unimaginable.
How did the ancient Greeks construct these extraordinary buildings?
It's really fascinating and it's a huge puzzle.
What long-lost rituals were they used for? And how have they survived, while other ancient buildings have crumbled away? The only way to solve these mysteries is to blow this temple complex apart, exploring its structure, stone by stone, will help us unearth the astonishing engineering secrets hidden inside this ancient wonder. Perched high on a massive rock overlooking the city of Athens stands a landmark of Western civilization. The Acropolis. Here, 2,400 years ago, the Greeks built an extraordinary complex of temples where they could worship their gods. Now, as restorers dismantle and rebuild it, the Acropolis is revealing its hidden secrets. New clues are emerging from the restoration of its two largest buildings, the world-famous Parthenon and the imposing entrance gateway known as the Propylaea. The Parthenon was the greatest temple of its age. A wonder of the ancient world. From 22,000 tons of precious marble, Greek stonemasons assembled a building of exquisite perfection. Its 13,000 individual stones fitted together so precisely, the joints were watertight. Its 58 towering columns could withstand earthquakes. It's an extraordinary structure. But how exactly did the ancient Greeks construct it? The secret to the Parthenon's perfection begins with its special building material, marble. Its largest blocks are massive, weighing in at 10 tons each. But no marble existed in Athens. So how did the ancient Greeks find and transport these enormous pieces of marble to this dizzying hilltop site? The answer lies at Mount Pentelicon, 17 kilometers from the city. Historian Edith Hall has come here to piece together this ancient mystery.
This is the very birthplace of the Parthenon. These great rock faces where they cut down the marble and took it all the way to Athens to build the Acropolis. And everywhere you look, there's just glittering white marble, just stones of every size. I mean, look at this one. Just pick it up off the floor, you can actually see how incredibly gleaming white it is. And there's sparkly bits that you can see once it's polished up and smoothed down and chiseled, it would actually gleam in the sunshine. It's actually incandescent.
Although Edith is surrounded by marble at the ancient quarry, most of it is in small pieces. In ancient times, craftsmen would have struggled to find the enormous blocks needed to build the Parthenon. Today, workers at this modern quarry on Mount Pentelicon face the same challenge. The blocks from here are considered special.
They're highly prized because of their quality, their whiteness.
They are from the same seam of marble as the ancient quarry. and are used for the Acropolis restoration.
It's exactly the same marble the ancient used to make the constructions and in Parthenon. It's not exactly the same place as the ancient did, but it's exactly the same marble.
Even with modern machinery, extracting large blocks is difficult. The rock is full of natural fissures, tiny cracks that cause the marble to break. Diamond-coated wire saws slice through the stone with ease. But once Sotiris extracts the blocks, they often break up into smaller pieces.
Big blocks are needed for Parthenon. 1, 2, maybe 3 marble blocks of the appropriate size and strength can be found every year.
For the ancient Greeks, who only had hand tools, it would have taken years to extract all the large 10-ton stones needed to build the Parthenon. And once they had found their stones, they faced an even greater challenge. How did they transport these enormously heavy, precious blocks, 17 kilometers, then raise them to the worksite at the top of the hill? At the ancient quarry, Edith thinks she has found a clue.
Where I'm standing now is actually the road that was made to transport all those slabs from the quarry all the way downhill to Athens and to the Acropolis itself. It's downhill all the way. It's quite a steep gradient, but it's regular and smooth, and the road's as straight as they could possibly make it, so that the journey was as short as possible, because it was an incredibly hard labour for all of them.
Workers used mules to pull the stones on carts down from the mountain to the city of Athens. But then came the biggest challenge, raising the marble up to the Acropolis. The rock rises 70 meters above the city. There was no way the Greeks could pull the massive blocks directly up this precipice. So how did they haul them to the top? Hiding unnoticed by the thousands of tourists who pass this way lies the answer.
They built a very smooth stone ramp with quite a slow gradient. It's only about 10 degrees.
Today, there are only a few stones left here. But it's clear from their angle that they are part of a massive ramp that once extended from the bottom of the hill to the top. So how did the Greeks use this ramp? Archaeologists suspect they created the perfect system. At the bottom of the ramp, builders positioned a cart with huge wheels to support the colossal weight of the marble blocks. At the top of the ramp, they anchored a massive wooden pulley. A heavy rope ran around it down to the cart at the bottom. They connected the rope to a second cart at the top, then filled this with rubble from the site to turn it into a counterweight. As the rubble cart rolled downhill, it pulled the marble blocks up the ramp. An ingenious cable car running right up to the Acropolis. It took a huge effort to transport 22,000 tons of stone to the top of this hill. The ancient Greeks could have built these sacred temples anywhere. So why did they choose the most difficult place in the whole city? And what did they use them for?
Acropolis means the high place, or the